LoveLore Library. Chapter 774. She only knew that her aunt had accidentally spilled water on Luoli's hand, but she did not think that it would be so serious. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Who did this? Feng Ruqing's eyes subconsciously looked at Qin Feier and Qin Xiaoye. If she was not wrong, the one standing with Qin Feier should also be a member of the Qin family. If they could treat Luoli like this. She could not help but think of how was Qin Chen's life in the Qin family. Did anyone hurt him intentionally? When Feng Ruqing thought of Qin Chen, she was suddenly filled with murderous intent. Luoli was startled. She thought Feng Ruqing was so angry for her sake. She subconsciously grabbed Feng Ruqing's hand. I'm fine. I want to go home. Xiao Qing was just a person without a family to rely on. She did not want Feng Ruqing to offend the Qin family just because of her. As for the injuries that Qin Xiaoye had given her, she would avenge herself in the future. Sponsored content. Remove ads. She did not want to become a burden for Feng Ruqing. Feng Ruqing's murderous intent was gone. She then said, coldly, "You follow me?" "Yes." Luoli felt relieved and she almost burst out in tears. Her heart was warm and full of brightness. Feier was her friend since she was young. Even if they both interrupted her several times, Feier should have realized that she was hurt. Unfortunately, she did not. Sponsored content. Remove ads. On the contrary, Feng Ruqing, whom she had known for only a day, saw her pain at a glance and even helped her out of this situation. Luoli followed behind Feng Ruqing. She felt safe and had nothing to worry about. Even if her father married Qin Xiaoye, she would no longer be alone. Would she? Little Fox was not with her, but she had a new friend. However, her eyes slightly sank thinking of Qin Xiaoye's actions just now. Her father could marry anyone in the future, but definitely not Qin Xiaoye. She would never agree with this vicious woman being her stepmother. Aunt. Qin Feier did not stop Luoli from leaving anymore. She turned back and looked angrily at Qin Xiaoye. Why did you treat her like this? Don't you want to marry Uncle Luo? Although the niece was an invalid, Qin Xiaoye would always be afraid of her. After hearing her question, Qin Xiaoye weakly replied, I really didn't mean it. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Enough. Qin Feier interrupted Qin Xiaoye's words impatiently. Go and explain that to Uncle Luo yourself. I won't help you anymore. Shaoli must have held a grudge toward me. No. Shaoli has always listened to you. Qin Feier sneered. Without saying anything, she turned and went upstairs without glancing at Qin Xiaoye. Qin Xiaoye panicked. She just wanted to teach Luoli a lesson, but she did not expect her skin to be so tender that it had even blistered due to the hot water. It seemed that she must give an explanation to Luo Fei before Luoli. There were too many people in the inn which was not suitable for her cultivation. Therefore, Feng Ruqing had spent money on a manor just after she had arrived at Tianshan Manor. Inside the courtyard, Feng Ruqing made Luoli sit down. She then took out a green spirit grass from the medium. She squeezed the juice out of the spirit grass and dropped it on the back of Luoli's hand. The back of Luoli's hand felt cool for a while. All the pain disappeared and her complexion improved. Luoli had asked Feng Ruqing to use an ordinary spirit herb, so the effect would not be so fast. She did not want to recover from her injury yet. She just needed to ease the pain. Feng Ruqing never asked Luoli why she asked for that. She knew that Luoli had her own reasons for doing so. Chapter 775. Luoli's despair. 6. She would not care about the past too much. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Sister Feng, Luoli wanted to say something but soon she was interrupted by Feng Ruqing. Just call me by my name. Then, Is it okay if I call you Xiaoqing? Luoli smiled, but her smile was bitter. Actually, my mother died when I was 5 years old because she was sick. It was the first time Feng Ruqing saw such grief in Luoli since the day she met Luoli. Luoli was always a girl who was mischievous and active. Luoli had always appeared to be nonchalant. Sponsored content. Remove ads. It might be Luoli's habit of using a smile and laughter to hide her sadness. She might have kept quite a lot of things to herself. I do understand that it's not easy for my father, too, given that he has to take care of me all by himself all these past years. It's fine if he wants to marry any woman as long as it's not Qin Xiaoye. Luoli bit her lip and continued to talk. Qin Xiaoye's been together with my father since last year. She came to my house once and I saw her destroying my mom's memorial tablet. I did not keep quiet about that. I went and slapped her. I thought that she could dodge my attacks easily with her strength. But she did not. It might be because of the fact that she saw my father there. Qin Xiaoye cried and claimed that she wanted to pick up the memorial tablet on the ground. She even claimed that I was the one who had slapped her first without asking for the truth. I was the one who misunderstood her because she claimed that my father was taken away from me and I could not tolerate her existence. She said that I slapped her because I had misunderstood the fact that she had destroyed my mom's memorial tablet. I hate Qin Xiaoye. I really don't like her. My grandmother's there to forbid my father from marrying her. But she is sick now. When she's no longer here, my father will surely marry her. I don't care if I'm being wronged. I can just leave the Luo family and join my little fox. However, both my grandmother and mother's graves will still be here in the Luo family. My father won't allow me to bring them with me. That woman is so wicked and evil. What if she dug their graves up in the middle of the night? If that's the case, my grandmother and mother won't be able to rest in peace. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Feng Ruqing was quite attentive to what Luoli said. But what Luoli had said toward the end. Her lips twitched. Dig up the graves. Is she that daring? Won't she be afraid that they might come crawling out of the graves to take revenge on her? I'm serious. Luoli appeared upset now. She will do whatever she wants. Feng Ruqing raised her eyebrows. You said that your grandmother can stop your father from marrying her. Then, what if she's cured? Luoli was stunned. She lowered her head. My grandmother's been sick for a few years now. We have looked for a lot of doctors but they could not find out what's wrong with her. There are 2 powerful doctors in Tianshan Manor but they rarely help the others. My grandmother, it seems that we've run out of options. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Feng Ruqing blinked a few times. She smiled and said, if you trust me, you can bring me to her. But, I have a favor to ask. Luoli tilted her head. What kind of favor? Bring your grandmother out so I can meet her outside. I don't want to go to the Luo family. Moreover, she stopped for a while. I want to meet Chainer. Could you please go to the Qin family and deliver him a message for me? Ask him to come and meet me here. That's it. It'll totally help Feng Ruqing if she asks for a favor. It's very easy. Even if she's not helping me out, I'm more than willing to help her out. Xiaoqing, have you learned how to treat people before? I have some medical knowledge but just a little. I need to see the situation first before deciding whether I can cure them or not. If you get the chance, just bring her here to meet me. Fine. Luoli burst into laughter. I cannot reject her kindness. Whether she can cure my grandmother or not, she's willing to try. Xiaoqing, wait for me here. I need to go home. She stood up and ran out of the manor soon after. Chapter 776, the Luo family was no longer peaceful now. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Luo Fei sat on the sandalwood chair. He clenched his fists tightly and he appeared to be infuriated. Qin Xiaoye was sobbing hard. She seemed to have been wronged. It was unintentional. I didn't mean to harm Xiaoli. I wasn't standing properly just now. I did not hold the cup in my hand firmly. I had scalded her hand by accident. Luo Fei, I'm really sorry. I know that I was wrong. I don't know how to ask for forgiveness from Xiaoli. I'm willing to do anything to compensate it as long as she would forgive me. That's enough. Luo Fei stood up, abruptly. He walked out of the living room. Qin Xiaoye realized now that Luo Fei was indeed infuriated. She became nervous and grabbed onto Luo Fei's hand quickly. Luo Fei, where are you going? I'm going to meet Liar. Sponsored content. Remove ads. That young girl is still away from home even though she's badly hurt. Does she really think that I don't care about her? Our spirit herbs are much better than those in the hospital. Why is she not coming home? Why does she want to go to the hospital? Luo Fei, Qin Xiaoye seemed to be deeply grieved. I'm the young lady of the Qin family. I'm rather pretty too. It's impossible that I can't find myself a man. Why do I want to be with you? I have even accepted Liar for you. Luo Fei suddenly stopped walking. His fists still clenched, tightly. Luckily, that was only an accident. It was unintentional. If she is hurting Liar deliberately, I'll never forgive her for the rest of my life. Now, I cannot tolerate her before Liar forgives her. Sponsored content. Remove ads. I know that Liar has always disliked me. I do know why. There's only her in the Luo family before I came. She's adored by everybody here. If I get into the Luo family, she would think that I'll get all of your attention. Qin Xiaoye laughed bitterly. She'll be unable to accept any woman even if someone else comes along. Only I am able to endure all of these issues. Luo Fei, do you really plan on not getting married for the rest of your life just for her sake? Luo Fei was frustrated. He did not respond. Luo Fei, Qin Xiaoye approached Luo Fei. She smiled bitterly. If you're really unhappy with me, I'll leave without a word. I have self-esteem too. I won't beg for your acceptance. In fact, I have chosen you before because of one more reason. I cannot have babies. You have Liar and you do not favor sons over daughters. You won't ask me to have a baby with you. Luo Fei was shocked. Qin Xiaoye cannot have babies. Sponsored content. Remove ads. That means that I won't have another child. No one will compete with Liar then. If Qin Xiaoye had mentioned that earlier, Liar might have accepted her without making so much fuss. But now, Liar is hurt. It's too late now. In fact, Qin Xiaoye could not have babies. But, it was impossible for her to become anyone's concubine given her status and background. On the other hand, no family would accept a lady who could not have babies. It was ridiculous if a family had children whose mothers were only the concubines in the family. But, Luo Fei was different. He had Liar and he was different from the other men. He did not have any concubines. However, Luo Li did not accept her all this while. Luo Li was just afraid that Qin Xiaoye's children would get all her father's attention. She was scared that her special status in the Luo family would be snatched away. Qin Xiaoye chose not to confess before because she had her own self-esteem too. When it was time for her to speak up, Qin Xiaoye had destroyed Luo Li's mother's memorial tablet. If old lady Luo did not say those things to enrage Qin Xiaoye might not be so jealous of a dead person and destroy her memorial tablet. The old lady told Qin Xiaoya that Lyre had only one mother. They must never force Lyre if she chose not to address Qin Xiaoya as her mother. Chapter 777 It's ridiculous. Sponsored content. Remove ads. If I marry Luo Fei, Luo Li would have no choice but to call me mother. I'll never tolerate this. That's enough. Well, talk about it when Lyre is found. She's hurt deeply and I don't want to see her sad again. She's blaming me because of you. Luo Fei seemed to have calmed down now. But he still appeared sad when he thought of Luo Li's sadness and pain. Qin Xiaoya smiled coldly. Luo Fei, it seems that you won't care about me no matter what I've done for you. I told you that it was an accident. It was Lyre who had accidentally touched me. I wasn't standing properly and I was not holding the teacup in my hand firmly. That was how I had hurt her by accident. But, do you know what? Do you know why I went to the Mu family's feast? I did that for old lady Luo. Qin Xiaoya appeared to be in great pain. I heard that Grandmaster Hai Rong would be there. So, I asked Fei to bring me there. I'm doing this for the Luo family so that Hai Rong could save old lady Luo. Sponsored content. Remove ads. I don't care how the old lady hates me. I'm doing what a daughter-in-law should do. She's my mother-in-law. It's alright even if she scolds or bullies me. I know that we must always respect the elderly. So, I did all that for her sake. But, how are all of you treating me? Qin Xiaoya laughed out loud. Her laughter was filled with deep pain. She seemed to be in great despair. It seemed that she was disappointed with Luo Fei. Are you talking about Mu Huan's master? Luo Fei finally turned around and looked at Qin Xiaoya. Qin Xiaoya laughed at herself. I'm willing to give him whatever I have in order to persuade him to save old lady Luo. I'm always doing what's best for the Luo family. I didn't wrong you. It's you who have wronged me. Luo Fei's heart finally softened. He sighed. I can forgive you, but we must ask for her forgiveness first. Lyre is my only daughter. I don't want her to be sad. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Qin Xiaoya lowered her head. I'm willing to do whatever I can so that she'll forgive me. But she won't forgive me no matter what I do. It's fine now. It's better if we're separated. Don't worry. I'll still help you. I'll persuade Grandmaster Hai Rong. But what the Luo family has done cannot be revealed to him. She stopped talking for a while. Grandmaster Hai Rong always sides with his family. Lady Qing Yan adores Fei and Fei is closed with Mu Huan. If he knows about that, he might not help you out. Luo Fei's face grew solemn. He closed his eyes slowly. His mother did not have an easy life. He did not want her to leave like that. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Lyre was close to her grandmother too. She surely wants to save her. Forget it. He'll tolerate it this time for his mother. Xiaoya, I'll try to persuade Lyre to forgive you. But, on the premise of Grandmaster Hai Rong, Qin Xiaoya paled. She lowered her head sadly. It's true. You want to be with me because of Grandmaster Hai Rong and it's not because you trust me. Xiaoya, Luo Fei was saddened when he saw the look of anguish on Qin Xiaoya's face. She'll be hurt this time. But, I have no choice. I need to do this for my mother. It's fine. Qin Xiaoya raised her eyes and laughed bitterly. It was I who fell in love with you first. That's why you don't care about my feelings. Luo Fei, you need to remember that you're the one who has wronged me and not the other way around. Chapter 778, Luo Li's despair 9 Luo Fei moved toward Qin Xiaoya and pulled her into his embrace. He felt guilty and in pain. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Luo Li reached home just in time to see Luo Fei hugging Qin Xiaoya tightly. Qin Xiaoya was facing Luo Li. Thus, Luo Li could see the smugness on Qin Xiaoya's face. Qin Xiaoya sneered at her. Qin Xiaoya might be mocking at Luo Li's inability to compete with her. You're just a daughter. You cannot be with her for the rest of his life. You can never beat me. Luo Li exploded with anger. She rushed forward and pulled Qin Xiaoya away. Qin Xiaoya was pulled away easily this time. She fell down on the ground and she burst into tears from pain. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Xiao Li. Luo Fei was rather surprised. Soon, he became delighted. He rushed forward and held on to Luo Li's hand. Xiao Li, you're back finally. Let me see your injury. Luo Li pursed her lips tightly. She could not believe what had just happened. So, you're aware that I'm hurt. Then, did you know that she's the one who has hurt me? Luo Fei sighed. Xiaoya told me about the accident just now. She said that she will make it up to you. Luo Li laughed coldly. She showed the back of her hand to her father. Then, why don't you see for yourself this time? My hand was hurt badly because of her. You said that she will make it up to me. Do you really think that the conflict between us would be resolved just like that? Luo Li had never gotten angry with Luo Fei no matter how bad the situation was. But, she was indeed infuriated this time. She wanted Luo Fei to be saddened by her injury. So, she had asked Feng Ruqing to not heal her injury. She wanted Luo Fei to realize what kind of a woman Qin Xiaoya was. Sponsored content. Remove ads. But, she realized that she was overthinking. She thought that her father would be grieving. However, it turned out to be the other way around. Xiao liar, it was an accident. I asked her to beg for your forgiveness. You can ask her to do whatever you want. Luo Fei saw the blisters on the back of Luo Li's hands. He was in great pain. Don't be angry now. Let me tend to your injury. Luo Li snatched her hands away. Fine. If she wants my forgiveness, she must leave the Luo family and never come back for the rest of her life. Xiao Li. Luo Fei frowned slightly. For your grandmother, you need to, Luo Fei. Qin Xiaoya stood up and interrupted Luo Fei. I will leave now and never disturb you again. I'm still an outsider to your family. She would never allow him to bring Grandmaster Hai Rong up. Otherwise, Luo Li would not make a fuss and throw a tantrum. Sponsored content. Remove ads. She would appear to be sensible and considerate as long as Luo Li was being the opposite. It turned out to be quite effective for Luo Fei. He seemed anxious. Xiaoya, I'll marry you. You don't have to leave. Luo Li was soon overwhelmed with great pain. Her heart was cold and it appeared that her life was sucked out of her body. Her small face became as pale as the snow. She looked at Luo Fei just like as though he was a stranger. She would never have said a word if he was this determined before. But now, I was intentionally hurt by Qin Xiaoya. But still, he chose her without a second thought. Grandmother was right. She told me that I will have a stepfather when I have a stepmother. Now, I don't even have a stepmother yet and my stepfather is already here. Luo Li laughed sarcastically. She turned away. All her frustration disappeared at that moment. Never mind. I have Little Fox and Xiao Qing. Father, I don't want you anymore. She would care for herself if her father does not bother about her. She refused to be there if Qin Xiaoya was in the Luo family. Luo Fei, you scoundrel. The old lady approached them while being escorted by a maid. Her steps were faltering and she could not even stand properly. But she hit Luo Fei violently with the crutch in her hands. Chapter 779. I'm not even aware of Xiao Liar's injury if the maid had not informed me. What did you promise me before? You promised that you would not let anything happen to Liar. You promised that you will appoint Liar the head of the Luo family when I'm dead. Now, how could you defend the woman who has hurt Liar? Sponsored content. Remove ads. Mother. Luo Fei did not dodge old lady Luo's attack. He simply endured it. What I have done is for your sake, old lady Luo sneered and moved forward to grab Luo Li's hand. Xiao Liar, let's go. Yes. Luo Li forced a smile. I'll bring you along to meet Xiao Qing. She's beautiful and gentle. She's nice too. Old lady Luo did not say anything more. She walked out of the manor with Luo Li by her side. Mother, where are you going? Luo Fei wanted to stop them. He became quite nervous. Old lady Luo hit the ground with her crutch. I'll run into the wall and kill myself if anybody dares to stop me from leaving today. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Luo Fei wanted to stop old lady Luo, but he became frightened when he heard what she had said. He stopped walking and dared not move anymore. He had no choice but to let them leave. He seemed helpless and could not recover his senses for a long time. Was he really the one wrong this time? Qin Xiaoye smiled coldly when she realized that both old lady Luo and Luo Li had left them alone at last. But she soon composed herself and approached Luo Fei slowly. Luo Fei, old lady Luo will know your good intentions one day. But Liar is just insensible. I'll teach her to respect the elderly in the future, Xiao Yu. Luo Fei appeared rather angry. He sounded serious. Liar is my daughter. I'll teach her myself if she's still insensible. You don't have to worry about that. Sponsored content. Remove ads. No matter what, Liar was his daughter. He would feel unsettled if anyone criticized her. If Xiao Yu had not sacrificed so much for his mother, he would have left her by now. Luo Fei, I'm just being nice. Qin Xiaoye was dissatisfied with Luo Fei's response. She pursed her lips tightly. Qin Xiaoye had been with Luo Fei for a few years now. That was the first time he had scolded her, for an ignorant brat. Let's forget about it. I'm tired. Xiaoye, you can go home and rest now. Luo Fei neither say anything more nor take a look at Qin Xiaoye. He turned and walked into the Luo family. Sponsored content. Remove ads. He seemed to be without spirit. It seemed that he had aged much at that moment. The young girl appeared quiet and calm in the manner. She was holding a book in her hands. She was captivating and was the most beautiful girl in the world. She moved and soon heard footsteps approaching her from outside of the manor. She turned her head slowly and a cute face appeared in front of her. Luo Li smiled brightly. She was delighted, and it might be because of the fact that she had left the Luo family. She was overjoyed. She was escorting an old lady and they were walking toward Fengruching. Grandma, well, stay here from now on. I don't want to go back to the Luo family anymore. Old lady Luo held on to Luo Li's hand softly. She appeared gentle and kind. Fine. You can go wherever you want. Your dad will surely be left all alone in this world. That bastard. 1-inch Fengruching made no reply and witnessed the whole scene quietly. When did I promise to let them stay here? 1. Xiao Qing. Luo Li spotted Fengruching when she turned her eyes. She let go of old lady Luo's hands and rushed toward Fengruching like a butterfly. Chapter 780, I've brought my grandmother to you. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Feng Ruqing looked Old Lady Luo. She fell into deep thought. Old Lady Luo was rather surprised when she saw Feng Ruqing. She was in doubt too. Shao Qing, Luo Li held Feng Ruqing's hands. She asked helplessly, "Can you really help to treat my grandmother?" Luo Li had told Old Lady Luo everything when they were on their way there. Old Lady Luo smiled kindly when she heard what Luo Li said. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Young lady, it's so nice of you to want to treat my illnesses. Don't be stressed. I know my own body very well. It's fine even if you're unable to treat my illnesses. Feng Ruqing was already standing in front of Old Lady Luo. She stroked Old Lady Luo's white hair to the side so that she could take a look at Old Lady Luo's neck. There were some dark spots on Old Lady Luo's neck. These spots were quite small and they could be overlooked if one did not look properly. Have you been to any spring water? Did you take a bath there? Old Lady Lu's mind went blank for a moment. After a while, she nodded. It might be the eternal spring in the sacred mountain that you're talking about. I've taken a bath there a long time ago. That's right. I saw some dark spots in your eyes too. Now, I've understood the situation after taking a look at your body. Sponsored content. Remove ads. There was a record of this kind of illness in the book Fu Qin gave her. She had identified it the moment she saw the dark spots. Even ordinary spring water is not clear and clean. There would be some insects or bacteria. The one you went to before was spring water, which was rich with spiritual qi. The ordinary insects in the spring water have turned into some sort of spirit beasts when they were immersed in the spiritual qi. But one cannot locate them easily because they are only small insects. An ordinary cultivator would use his spiritual qi to shield himself from the insects so that they won't harm him. But it appears to me that Old Lady Luo is not a cultivator. Old Lady Luo was shocked. Soon, she became silent. Sponsored content. Remove ads. There were numerous cultivators in both Tianshan Manor and the secular world. Ordinary people who could not cultivate could never enter the eternal spring. Old Lady Luo was escorted by Luo Fei when they went to the eternal spring. She just wanted to extend her lifespan. Both Luo Fei and Luo Li had taken a bath there too. They were fine, but Old Lady Luo's body worsened. She had even caught a fatal disease. Nobody had thought about eternal spring at that time. Young lady, we really have no idea about what you have just said. Old Lady Luo was quiet for a while. Is there anything we can do for my illness? It can be cured. Feng Ruqing touched her chin. Have you heard of the herbal dishes at Paramount? Old Lady Luo's eyes brightened at that. Do you know anyone from Paramount? Yes. Feng Ruqing smiled, calmly. I know Jiu Ming. My friend had the same illness as you before, and that's why I could identify your illness. Jiu Ming gave my friend a herbal dish, and he had even changed the herbal dish into a spirit herbal dish. I remember that prescription. I can just give that to you. Everyone knew that Paramount was famous for selling herbal dishes. Feng Ruqing had no choice but to let Jiu Ming claim credit. She did not want the people from the Mu family to know that she was the provider of the herbal dishes in Paramount so as to prevent them from bothering her. Chapter 781, Old Lady Luo 3. To this, Old Lady Luo grabbed Feng Ruqing's hands excitedly. Young lady, I don't know how I can express my gratitude toward you if my illness is cured. Is this prescription of the spirit herbal dish expensive? Don't worry. Just name the price. It'll definitely fulfill your demand. Sponsored content. Remove ads. I don't want to ask for anything just yet. If you feel bad about it and you do want to repay my kindness, just remember that you owe me. Keep it that way until you're feeling better. Good. Old Lady Luo was satisfied. If I'm cured, I'll never allow Qin Xiaoye to be a part of the Luo family. Xiao Liar will never be bullied again. Young lady, you're so beautiful and kind. By the way, you look like one of my old friends. Maybe that's why we're destined to meet. Old Lady Luo laughed. She had quite a good impression of Feng Ruqing when she met Feng Ruqing for the first time. Feng Ruqing seemed quite adorable if compared to the weak and sick lady of the Qin family. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Maybe it's because they resemble each other. Especially those eyes, eyebrows, and her facial expressions. The way she carries brings herself, she's so much like my old friend. An old friend? Feng Ruqing turned and looked at the old lady. She frowned slightly. She looked more like her mother compared to her father, though she resembled him too. Other than that, it was impossible that she resembled anyone else. There was no resemblance between her and Chainer, even if he was indeed her younger brother who was taken from them. If not, she would have recognized him long ago. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Yes. The old lady held Feng Ruqing's hand and patted it lovingly. My old friend had sworn to be my late husband's brother. Our Luo family had wronged him deeply too. I've buried those feelings deep down in my heart, and not even Luo Fei or Luo Li know about them. I went to look for eternal spring because I hoped that I could live longer so that there's a possibility of meeting him again. Feng Ruqing was silent. She felt that it was impolite to listen to the old lady's deep troubles, but she was unwilling to stop her. That fellow is always reckless and arrogant. But he always values his people and never thinks about himself. My husband and I grew up in Tianshan Manor. That's why we did not understand his actions. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Until his people were slaughtered by a group of people one day. They wiped out the entire population in that city. He was outrageous and he planned to wipe out the entire reclusive world. A smile crept onto the old lady's face slowly. She had never thought that he was wrong. She just didn't understand why he had always put everyone else before him without caring about himself. Yet, some people are resented by everyone else because of their actions. That fellow adored his people so much so that he would never leave them behind. The entire reclusive world was shocked at that time. He was alone, but he had slaughtered many cultivators from the reclusive world. He had killed numerous powerful people. In the end, the reclusive world was frightened. They felt an immense fear toward him. So, they united and planned to kill him together. The old lady seemed to show great respect and adoration for that person as she was talking. That battle lasted for 3 days. I'll never forget that day. He walked out of the battlefield, leaving behind corpses and skeletons. He was soaked in blood. The world thought that it was a draw between him and the reclusive world while claiming that the reclusive world was slightly weaker. But it was not so. He could surely wipe out the entire reclusive world given his immense talent. Chapter 782. I never thought that he was doing anything wrong even though I'm from the reclusive world. Sponsored content. Remove ads. He had not done anything wrong. Those people who had slaughtered his people were the ones to be blamed. He simply took revenge on them for his people. Moreover, he had even killed the people who took advantage of innocent people. But the reclusive world was afraid of his talent and they were fearful of his ability to change the state of the reclusive world. Therefore, they united all the forces to destroy him. Sponsored content. Remove ads. There were numerous powerful people in the reclusive world at that time. But, still, they did not manage to kill him. At first, my late husband was close to Master Qin. He appeared nice, but he was the worst of all. He was a hypocrite. My late husband assumed that Tianya could not beat the entire reclusive world alone. He wanted to save him. So, he had planned to gather some people to go and save him. But, my late husband did not know how to differentiate the bad people from the good people. He knew only of bastards. Master Qin took that advantage and joined forces with the other families. They kidnapped my late husband, and that old bastard used him to threaten Tianya. Consequently, Tianya was disturbed and he became nervous. He received an attack directly, and that was why the battle ended abruptly. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Even so, I still think that Tianya did not lose that battle. If it was not for the Luo family's sake, he would have been able to start all over again, even if he did not manage to change how things were in the reclusive world. But, my late husband was kidnapped by them. Thus, Tianya had no choice but to use the last resort and threaten the reclusive world to sign a contract with him. There are only 2 rules in his contract. First, the reclusive world is not allowed to attack the secular world. Second, they cannot attack the Luo family. In return, he was willing to go to that place and never to return. The old lady started to tremble slightly when she had almost finished the tale. She smiled bitterly. Our Luo family owes him too much. I know what his worries were. At first, I planned to promise him to take care of his family. But, Tianya was worried that I would expose his family. So, I did not dare to bother his family all these years. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Grandmother, Luoli paled. Why am I unaware of all these things? The old lady smiled bitterly and shook her head. Don't be surprised. Even your father is unaware of all these things. Your grandfather passed away long ago because of the guilt he had toward Tianya. Only some superior people from the 3 forces knew about this then. Otherwise, how would the world see them if the world knew how they had protected the reclusive world with evil schemes? They would be humiliated. That's what I have promised when I signed the contract. Luoli pursed her lips tightly. So, is that the reason why you disliked Qin Xiaoya from the beginning? Yes, I don't like them. Only Qin Feier is rather nice in the Qin family. She doesn't have many intentions. But, I don't quite adore Qin Feier too. She makes me uncomfortable. It might be because of that deceased old fellow in that family. Luoli lowered her head. If grandmother had told her about this earlier, she would never have been friends with Qin Feier. But she realized now. She knew what kind of people she should befriend. Qin Feier was too selfish. But, the Luo family was not comfortable either. Although they had promised not to lay a hand on us, we no longer had superior status. Old Lady Luo laughed bitterly. What is worse is that I felt that my world had collapsed when my husband passed away. Chapter 783. Later. The old fellow from that Qin family always came to bother me. He pursued me when he was young. But, in the end, I chose my husband. He was dissatisfied. He came to make trouble in the Luo family even when my husband had not been dead for over 7 days. So, I used some tricks and killed him at last. He managed to cripple my cultivation before he died too. Sponsored content. Remove ads. The old lady did not mention what tricks she had used. But, one could guess that it must be a woman's beauty. Old Lady Luo sighed. Our lives became much better when Gu Shi killed the previous Tianshan Manor Master and became a Manor Master himself. We no longer endured the various pressure and intimidation. But, our Luo family still owes Tianya too much. Feng Ruqing was speechless. He had killed the previous Manor Master and replaced him as the previous master. It seemed that Gu Shi was a powerful person. Sponsored content. Remove ads. You said that I resemble your old friend. Are we much alike? Feng Ruqing asked after some silence. Yes, you look too much like him. That's why I couldn't help but tell you about this. I hope that you won't mind. Take is as an old woman's ramble, as it's been a long time since I spoke about my past to the others and I cannot hold it back anymore. The old lady laughed. Her husband had sworn to be his brother. But his identity was too special and he had killed someone from the reclusive world even before that battle. Even though he did not kill many of them, but it still enraged many people. He offended quite a number of people at that time. Hence, he had always kept his identity a secret to prevent his family from being harmed by others. That's why they have never met his family. They just knew that he had a son just like him. Sponsored content. Remove ads. They had even joked about it at that time. If their grandchildren were to be a boy and a girl, they could be in-laws. One thinking about it, Tian Ya's son should be married by now. He might have had a child. She just didn't know whether it's a boy or a girl. Then, could you please tell me who your old friend is? Feng Ruqing raised her eyes and looked at the old lady and asked. The old lady shook her head. I promised him that I'll never talk about it in my life. It's a secret I'll keep with me for the rest of my life. I'll never speak of it even if I'm going to die. Young lady, it doesn't mean that I don't trust you. It's just that I've promised him never to speak of it and I must keep my promise. Feng Ruqing breathed a sigh of relief. She smiled happily. Sponsored content. Remove ads. If you're unwilling to talk about it, I'll not ask any more questions. If she was unwilling to talk about it, she would not force her. She could not force her to become a person who doesn't keep her promises. She was just suspicious about that old friend she talked about. But she could still look it up through other means. I'll give you the prescription of the spirit herbal dish later. All you have to do is follow the prescription step by step to brew the spirit herbal dish. You'll be cured in less than a month. If you're healing faster, you'll be cured in half a month. Thank you so much, young lady. The old lady laughed. It's Xiao Liar's honor to be able to become your friend. Young lady, are you married? All of a sudden, Luo Li's eyes widened as she turned to look at the old lady. She asked, with dissatisfaction, Grandmother, don't tell me you're trying to make Xiao Qing my stepmother. How can my father deserve her? Nonsense. You know how terrible your father is. How can he deserve her? Moreover, Xiao Qing is young and beautiful. Your dad is just an old man. What right does he have to be with a young girl? The old lady turned to look at Feng Ruqing again. Xiao Qinger, I have a few nephews. Do you want to consider it? Feng Ruqing's face darkened. I already have someone I love. Oh, it's a pity, the old lady sighed. But, it's fine. I have a lot of nephews. If you find that you no longer like him, just inform me. I'll gather my nephews for you to pick. You can pick whomever you like. Feng Ruqing was speechless. Chapter 784, Brother and Sister Finally Meet. I've Grandmother. Luo Li pouted. My cousins only know about cultivation and they do not have any compassion toward women. If Xiao Qing chooses one of my cousins, she would surely be bullied and wronged. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Those men have never had any notions of romance or love. They are hard like steel. We should find a companion who can warm the heart of a lady like Xiao Qing. It's fine even if my nephews are unsuitable for her. I still can recommend her some of the children of my husband's relatives. If it's really that difficult, we can look up all the families we have from the previous 18 generations. I don't believe that there's not even one person who is suitable for her. Luo Li was speechless. She felt that her grandmother had gone insane just to be someone's matchmaker. Feng Ruqing smiled slightly. Thank you for your kind thoughts. But I only love him. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Oh. Old Lady Luo sighed again with a tinge of regret. It seemed to her that her family did not have a chance. Young Lady Xiaoqing, you must consider the choices I have offered you if you want to get married. Are the parents of the man you love still alive and healthy? What about their characteristics? One's future in-laws are important too. You must not let yourself be bullied or wronged. Old Lady Luo really cared deeply about Feng Ruqing then. It might be because of Feng Ruqing's act in sharing with her the prescription to cure her illnesses, or it might be because of Feng Ruqing's resemblance to Tianya. Feng Ruqing lowered her eyes. After a short while, she smiled and said, he comes from a single family. His mother is still alive. She treats me very well. His father is dead. That was right. Mu Ling was as good as dead to Nan Xian and Sui. It was true that Nan Xian came from a single-parent family. Then, it's good. The old lady smiled happily. Xiao liar, well, return to the Luo family later. Don't disturb young Lady Xiaoqing. But, you're welcome to visit us anytime at the Luo family. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Grandmother. Luo Li turned and looked at the old lady helplessly. Didn't we promise each other that we'll leave the Luo family together for good? That's when I thought that I'll live no longer. I have the cure now. How could I allow that woman from the Qin family to take over the Luo family? Old Lady Luo seemed weak now, but she still kept her dignity just like when she was young. Moreover, the Luo family was built up by her husband. I'll never allow anyone to take over it so easily. All right. Luo Li's excitement subsided. She thought that she would never have to return to the Luo family ever again. Sponsored content. Remove ads. If I don't return with my grandmother, she would totally be infuriated with Qin Xiaoya if I let her go home alone. Luo Li seemed to remember something. She turned and looked at Feng Ruqing. Xiaoqing, I'll bring Qin Chen to you. Qin Chen. The old lady was stunned. Are Feng Ruqing and Qin Chen related? In fact, the old lady did not have any bad impression on Qin Chen. He had always been cold and distant. But, he seemed like a cold breeze in the Qin family. The old lady could never really hate Qin Chen, and it might be because of the fact that Qin Chen did not have any blood ties with them. She even thought of arranging a marriage between Luo Li and him. That young man is a pitiful person too. The old lady did not speak thoughts in front of Feng Ruqing. She also did not voice out her doubts. She held on to her crutch and said, liar, come, let's go home. Feng Ruqing did not say anything more up until that moment. She looked in the direction where the old lady had left with Luo Li. Her eyes were gentle. Chainer, we're able to meet again at last. The old lady stopped walking when they were out of the manor. She frowned slightly. Liar, what is the relationship between young Lady Xiaoqing and Qin Chen? Chapter 785. Oh, Qin Chen might be the man she loves. Luo Li suddenly remembered something just after she answered her grandmother's query. Her small face appeared shocked. No, she mentioned that the man's mother is alive. But Qin Chen is only an adopted son. It's not related to what she has said. Sponsored content. Remove ads. If that's the case, it would be better. Qin Chen is not suitable for young Lady Xiaoqing. Why? Luo Li seemed shocked. Didn't you have a good impression on Qin Chen? Xiao liar, there are a lot of things in the Qin family. You won't understand. The Qin family is just like a deep tiger's den to her unless Qin Chen leaves the Qin family for good. Although I have thought about arranging a marriage for the two of you, what I had in mind was that Qin Chen would leave the Qin family and come to be a part of the Luo family. It's because you're the only heiress of the Qin family and he could avoid being harmed by those people from the Qin family if he joins our family. The old lady laughed bitterly. But, it is different for young lady Xiao Qing, unless Qin Chen leaves the Qin family. Otherwise, it will be a total disaster if she marries Qin Chen. She's so nice and beautiful. Surely, I'm unwilling to see her endure all those sufferings. But, our Luo family is not bad too. Are we unable to protect her? Luo Li pursed her lips, tightly. The old lady glanced at Luo Li meaningfully. If your grandfather were still alive and healthy, if I was still powerful, if your father is not being charmed by that vixen, all things would have been possible. But, how can we protect her given our state now? Luo Fei was the most powerful person in the entire Luo family. Sponsored content. Remove ads. However, Luo Fei had fallen for Qin Xiaoye. Now, Luo Fei could oppose me for Qin Xiaoye's sake. It's impossible that he would bother himself with that. However, Luo Li was different. Luo Li was still Luo Fei's daughter no matter what. If she was bullied by her parents-in-law, surely Luo Fei would not be quiet about it. So, the people from the Qin family would not bully her so much. It was what the old lady had in mind. Luckily, the person young lady Xiao Qing loves might not be Qin Chen. If that's the case, I'm relieved. Grandmother. Luo Li pursed her lips tightly. Even if the man Xiao Qing loves is not Qin Chen, we can do nothing if the Qin family prohibits Qin Chen from getting in touch with Xiao Qing. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Feng Ruqing had helped Luo Li for quite a few times now. Luo Li wanted to return the favor, too, this time. Old Lady Luo stopped in her path and laughed bitterly. We owe young Lady Xiao Qing for saving my life. Surely I'll not leave her behind. We'll see how things are in the future. It's the best if we could kick Qin Xiaoye out of the Luo family. If she's not there to instigate Luo Fei to do bad things, Luo Fei would never be unfilial toward me. Luo Fei breathed a sigh of relief softly. If her grandmother was on her side, everything was possible. Otherwise, they would just have to cause a really bad scene and threaten him into obedience with their lives. If he still could not care less about them, he would be infamous for indirectly causing the death of his mother and daughter. We'll see how he will react. At the Qin family. Sponsored content. Remove ads. In the manor. It was peaceful and quiet. A young man stood next to the lake with a hand behind his back. His silhouette seemed tall. It was a thin and lean figure. It seemed that his handsome face was covered with layers of frost. He appeared so cold and distant. But, he had a pair of eyes that were crystal clear. They were even purer than the water in the lake. They were just like the pure sky. Chainer. A soft voice was heard from behind him. The young man subconsciously hid the hairpin in his sleeves. He did not turn around to face the person who had spoken to him. He did not even turn his head. Qin Feier stood behind Qin Chen. There was a helpless smile on her beautiful and gentle face. Although Qin Chen was cold and distant just like before, he would at least have given her some kind of response before this. Chapter 786. But Qin Chen was not bothered about Qin Feier anymore when he was back at that time. Sponsored content. Remove ads. She knew that her selfish acts were the reason behind it. Her selfishness had finally hurt Chainer. But, who would not be charmed by a man as strong and powerful as a god? So, she did not regret the decision that she had made. Chainer, I have brought you some food from Heaven Eye. Come and eat it while it's still warm. The young man remained quiet. It was as if he did not hear what she had just said. There was only one captivating figure in his mind now. He could not help but smile a little. However, Qin Feier was standing behind Qin Chin, so she did not see his smile. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Young lady. The maid, Lu Xia, was infuriated by Qin Chen's behavior. She could not help but say, "He won't ever appreciate you no matter how nice you treat him. If it's not the Qin family, he would have been dead by now. He even treats you like this. He's just an ungrateful white-eyed wolf." Enough. Qin Feier's facial expression changed slightly. She scolded Lu Xia, angrily, "Don't bring it up anymore. We're the ones who have wronged Chainer." Those maids and servants did not know about Qin Chen's birth. But she was his elder sister and she knew, clearly, about his birth. That was why she was guilty and had even advised her parents several times now. But now, she had no choice because she wanted to be a part of the Mu family. So, she would never allow those people to bully Qin Chen. If not, her guilt would deepen each and every day. Sponsored content. Remove ads. The smile on Qin Chen's face disappeared slowly. He turned around calmly. Then, he walked past Qin Feier without even glancing at her. Qin Feier was stunned. She was still holding the food containers in her hands. She was pale. There seemed to be tears in her eyes. "Young lady." Lu Xia stamped her feet and said, agonized, "I can't endure it anymore. It's clear that he, Lu Xia." Qin Feier was using a much angrier voice. She was outraged. "If you treat him like that again in the future, you don't have to serve me anymore. Chainer is still my younger brother no matter what. He's still our young master." Lu Xia froze at that remark. She lowered her head and remained quiet. She still seemed angry. On top of the grievance, there was also the hatred and annoyance she had toward Qin Chen. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Young master. A servant approached Qin Chen when he walked away just now. He did not address Qin Chen respectfully. But his voice was filled with sarcasm and contempt. "The young lady from the Luo family came to meet you." Qin Feier was the only one who adored Qin Chen in the whole household. Even the manor master and the lady treated Qin Chen with contempt. Therefore, the servants had never respected Qin Chen. Qin Chen stopped walking and turned to walk toward the backyard. "Qin Chen, don't leave." The people from the Qin family did not stop Luoli given that it was a habit of her to come to the Qin family and meet with Qin Feier. Therefore, Luoli became nervous when she saw that Qin Chen was leaving. She rushed forward and stopped him in his track. "Qin Chen, don't leave." Luoli's face was red with nervousness. She was panting. I want to meet you about something. Just come with me. You'll regret it if you don't come with me." There were too many people in the Qin family so she could not say much there. What was important was she needed to bring Qin Chen with her. Qin Chen walked past Luoli toward his own room. Luoli was anxious. Her gaze fell on the hairpin in Qin Chen's hands. Chapter 787. Brother and sister finally meet. For the hairpin seemed so familiar to Luoli. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Ah, it looks like Xiao Qing's hairpin. Luoli suddenly recalled Feng Ruqing telling her that she had a pair of hairpins that were capable of condensing spiritual qi. Hence, Feng Ruqing always wore it wherever she went. It was a pity that someone had stolen one of them. Hence, she only had one of them left. Seeing the hairpin in Qin Chen's hand, Luo Li's eyes lit up with joy. She quickly rushed over to stop Qin Chen. "I've seen this before." Luo Li's eyes lit up as she pointed at the hairpin in Qin Chen's hand. Qin Chen paused and tightened his grip on the hairpin. He stared at Luo Li. Sponsored content. Remove ads. "Come with me, or you will regret it." Luo Li said earnestly as she stared solemnly at Qin Chen. All right, Qin Chen answered after pondering for a while. Hearing Qin Chen's answer, Luo Li was thrilled. She could finally do something for phone ruching. Sponsored content. Remove ads. As soon as Qin Feier and her servant, Lu Xia, stepped out of the garden, they bumped into Qin Chen, who was walking toward the manor's gate with Luo Li. As the people in the Qin family cared about their reputation so much, they had never restricted Qin Chen to do anything he wished. Hence, if Qin Chen wanted to leave the Qin family, simply no one would stop him. Young Lady Qin, it is no wonder that he dares to ignore you. He's actually in touch with the manor lady of the Luo family. Young Lady Qin, don't worry about him anymore. The Qin family has always been treating him so well and has never failed to provide him with food and drink. However, he has never appreciated it. Lu Xia sneered. How long Qiner and Luo Li have been together? Qin Feier was lost in thought. As she did not pay attention to Lu Xia's words, she did not stop her. Just as Qin Feier regained her focus, she could clearly see an unprecedented emotion creeping into Qin Chen's cold eyes, but she could not tell whether it was agitation or excitement. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Did you see the emotion on Qiner's face just now? Qin Feier clenched her fists tightly. An oppressive feeling grew in her heart. Qin Chen had always been cold and had never really shown any emotions on his face, let alone smile. Hence, Qin Feier did not care how Qin Yu treated her, as she knew that Qin Chen had been treating everyone the same way. But now, Qin Chen had proved her wrong. Young Lady Qin, startled, Lu Xia turned to look at Qin Chen. It's not something bad for Qiner to have feelings and desires. At least, he won't treat me coldly anymore. However, why, since he actually has other emotions, why is he treating me so coldly all this while? Qin Feier lowered her eyes, the corner of her lips curved into a bitter smile. I'm his sister. As father and mother don't like him, I'm his dearest person in the world. Why does Qin Chen treat me like this? Qin Feier could hardly stand upright. Her lips were trembling and tears streamed down her face. Qin Feier was Qin Chen's dearest person in the world, yet he was so close to Luo Li and did not even allow Qin Feier to walk near him. Qin Feier had never seen Qin Chen get so close to Luo Li before. Although Qin Feier knew that both Qin Chen and she would marry someone else, she could not accept the fact that Qin Chen was treating another lady better than his own sister. Chapter 788, Lu Xia, don't let my parents know about this. They would never let Qin Chen be with Luo Li. Qin Feier wiped off the tears and smiled softly. Sponsored content. Remove ads. If Qin Chen was truly in contact with the Luo family, then the Qin family could no longer make Qin Chen a drug primer. Therefore, if Qin Feier's parents knew this, it would bring more harm than good to Qin Chen. However, Qin Feier trusted Qin Chen. Although Qin Chen had always been cold to her, she knew that Qin Chen cared for her. Otherwise, he would never have returned to the Qin family. Hence, even if Qin Chen wanted to leave the Qin family with Luo Li, he would not do so until Qin Feier's health had improved. All right, young Lady Qin. Lu Xia pursed her lips together as she answered reluctantly. Let's go. Qin Feier glanced in the direction that Qin Chen had left and then turned to walk away, slowly. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Feng Ruching was leaning lazily against a pillar of a summer house. The golden sunlight poured over, her body was basked in the warm glistening rays of sunshine. Suddenly, a familiar voice spoke as if a few centuries had passed. Ching ching. Feng Ruching glanced sideways only to see a stunning face appeared before her eyes. The young master before her eyes was no longer the adolescent young man. He had turned into a mature gentleman. Sponsored content. Remove ads. However, Feng Ruing knew that Qin Chen was still the boy he used to be. With a bashful smile on his face, he was sparkling clean and pure like the rising sun. Feng Ruqing got up slowly. A gust of light breeze blew. In a flash, the young master was standing before Feng Ruqing and drawing her into his arms. He missed her so badly. He could feel the warmth from her body. That was the only warmth he felt and craved. He could even leave everything behind for this. Feng Ruqing reached out to stroke Qin Chen's back gently. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Besides the state preceptor, no one could hug her. However, Qin Chen had always been an exception. Previously, Qin Chen was Feng Ruqing's brother in Huaxia. Simply no one could cut Qin Chen out of her life. Perhaps, Qin Chen was her kin who shared the same bloodline in this life too. Hence, she did not reject his hug. Qingqing, I missed you, I am here to take you home. Feng Ruqing's lips lifted as she patted his back. Qin Chen's body stiffened. After a while, he let go of the lady in his arms. Qingqing, would you please give me some time? I am in the middle of something. I will go home with you after I have taken care of everything. How have you been at the Qin family? Fan Ruqing raised her eyes to look at Qin Chen's face. I'm fine, don't worry. Because of you, I will not let anyone hurt me. Qin Chen's fingers slid through the strand of hair on Feng Ruqing's forehead as he broke into a bright and warm smile. Qin Chen would never let anyone hurt him, not even the slightest bit. A glimmer of wickedness flashed in his eyes but quickly faded away as he was afraid that Feng Ruqing could feel that something was wrong. The corner of his lips curved into a smile. Standing not far away, Luo Li saw the whole incident unfold before her. Her glazed eyes wandered over Qin Chen and Feng Ruqing. She did not know if Qin Chen and Feng Ruqing were in the kind of relationship that she had thought of before. However, as both of them were so close to each other just like the way Luo Li and the little fox were, if Qin Chen was not Feng Ruqing's kin, he must hold a special place in Feng Ruqing's heart. Chapter 789. Luo Li had never thought that Qin Chen, who had always been cold and nonchalant, could be so warm and caring. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Qiner, could you tell me what are you going to do? Feng Ruqing subconsciously held on to Qin Chen's hand as she asked anxiously. I want to be stronger. I want to be very strong so that no one can hurt you anymore. Qin Chen smiled. Qin Chen did not want anyone to hurt Feng Ruqing or steal her happiness because Feng Ruqing was the person dearest to him in this world. Qingqing, trust me. I am perfectly fine. No one can hurt me. Qin Chen held on to Feng Ruqing's hand tightly. You can cultivate when I'm not by your side. Feng Ruqing stared at Qin Chen for a while before she said. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Yeah. I can protect you one day. Not only your safety, I can protect everything that you want. Alright, I trust you this time. Since you are in Tianshan Manor, I will stay here too. No matter what happens, I will face it together with you. Since Qin Chen wanted to do something, all Feng Ruqing could do was to support and trust him. She would never stop him and she would do everything she could to help him. Luo Li was standing behind both of them. Seeing this, she knew that it was not good to interrupt them. Hence, she decided to leave, silently. Just as she was about to leave, Feng Ruqing called out to her. Luo Li, today, thank you, no, I should thank you instead. I just helped to get him out of the Qin family, but you had saved my grandmother. Luo Li turned her head around with a smile on her face. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Anyway, I want to thank you. I can't get close to the Qin family yet. Fortunately, you helped me out. Feng Riching turned her head slowly, her eyes were fixed on Qin Chen. Chainer, if you want to meet me, you can come together with Luo Li. Dumbfounded, Qin Chen did not know why Feng Riching had said this. Feng Riching held on to Qin Chen's hands tightly. After all, she could not tell Qin Chen that he might be her biological brother. It was just Feng Riching and Jiu Ming's guess. Simply no one knew if that was true. Currently, she could not give Qin Chen so much hope. Hence, Feng Riching wanted to look into it more, starting with the Qin family. Naturally, she could not let the people in the Qin family know the relationship between Qin Chen and herself. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Chainer, Feng Riching called out to Qin Chen once again. Alright, I will meet you together with her. Qin Chen pursed his lips. He could never reject Feng Riching. Hearing this, Luo Li was overjoyed as she could meet Feng Riching frequently in the future. Also, give my hairpin back to me. Feng Riching paused for a while and stretched her hand out. Qin Chen was dumbfounded. I know it was you who took it. That jade hairpin was given to me by Nan Xian. It was a gift from Sui. They came in a pair. I could give you something else if you want. In fact, Feng Riching did not know that the jade hairpin actually belonged to the White Phoenix. The White Phoenix had nicked it from a master, but Nan Xian had taken it away from the White Phoenix together with other treasures and gave them all to Feng Riching. Nan Xian had even told Feng Riching that it was a gift from his mother. Hence, Feng Riching had no idea that the jade hairpin belonged to the White Phoenix. You never wear other hairpins beside this. Qin Chen merely frowned. Chainer, Feng Riching said, helplessly. Qin Chen could not help but take out the jade hairpin and hand it over to Feng Riching reluctantly. Feng Riching broke into a smile. Standing nearby, Luo Li's dazed face changed. A look of disbelief and shock crept into her eyes. Wait, what did I just hear? Nan Xian. Chapter 790, A Friend Will Never Let You Down. I, Xiao Qing. Luo Li turned her head stiffly and stared at Feng Riching. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Nan Xian, is your lover that you told my grandmother about before? Is he Mu Nanxian from the Mu family? His name is Nan Xian, not Mu Nanxian. Feng Riching's face darkened a few shades. Luo Li heaved a sigh of relief. She did not want Feng Riching to get together with Nan Xian, as Nan Xian's marriages had been called off twice. There must be something wrong with him. Hence, Nan Xian was no match for Feng Riching. Shortly after, Luo Li was dumbstruck by Feng Riching's subsequent remark. Because Mu Ling is not worthy of being his father. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Luo Li's face was drained of blood. She held on to Feng Riching's arm, anxiously. Xiao Qing, listen to me. You must not get married to Nan Xian. Why? Because. Luo Li pursed her lips tightly as she hesitated whether to tell Feng Riching the truth. Nan Xian has been dumped twice. If the rumor is true that he is a rare talent, why would those ladies called off the marriages? Luo Li could not bear seeing such a gentle and kind lady being left in the dark. Hence, she told Feng Riching, earnestly. Perhaps, Nan Xian was not as stunning his portrait or was impotent. If that was true, how could he make Feng Riching happy? Sponsored content. Remove ads. Feng Riching was dumbstruck by Luo Li's remarks. It seemed that Nan Xian's reputation had been pretty much ruined. Ching Ching. Qin Chen's gaze fell on Feng Riching's face. What have you done to his betrothed again? First, it was only Tang Yin, now there is another lady. Didn't Tang Yin fight that lady? After a while, Qin Chen asked, bashfully. I didn't do anything. I didn't even know who his betrothed is this time. It has nothing to do with me. Enriching subconsciously took a few steps backward. Ching, you truly have no idea how many ladies would fall for you. Don't be too gentle to them in the future. Otherwise, you can never get rid of them. The corner of Qin Chen's lips lifted. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Previously Tang Yin had called off the marriage with Nan Xian. Now, Nan Xian was being dumped once again. It must have something to do with enriching. Now that enriching was here in Tianjin Manor, Luo Li had come into the picture too. Enriching was truly a flirting expert, she was even better than men. I'm telling the truth, I don't know his second betrothed. Naturally, I couldn't have done anything to her. Enriching's face darkened. Alright, this must have nothing to do with Qing. She did not ruin Nan Xian's reputation. Hearing Qin Chen, Luo Li stared at enriching in bewilderment, wondering what Nan Xian's engagements had to do with enriching. Xiao Qing, what did you do to them? Luo Li's eyes suddenly lit up. Can you guide me on how to chase my rivals away so no one would hound my little fox? Although Luo Li trusted the little fox, she did not want other foxes to hound it. The little fox told Luo Li that it would go back to her and marry her when it finally turns into a human. I have told you. I didn't do anything. Don't you believe me? Tang Yin looked for me in Luoyuan Kingdom because of Nan Xian. I truly have no idea why she had suddenly called off the engagement. It had nothing to do with me. Moreover, enriching did not know that Tang Yin was actually Nan Xian's betrothed in the first place. Well, it was true that you did nothing, but Tang Yin has been hounding you day and night, wanting to marry you. Qin Chen smiled brightly. Chapter 791. Once again, Luo Li stared at enriching in awe. Perhaps, of all the people in the world, only enriching was capable of turning her love rival into Nan Xian's love rival. She would definitely drive the people of the Mu family mad if they knew this. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Enriching was rendered speechless hearing Qin Chen's remarks. How embarrassing, could you stop talking about it? It seemed that enriching had truly ruined Nan Xian's reputation. Thinking of this, enriching turned her head around to look at Luo Li. Nan Xian really has a bad reputation in Tianjin Manor. Enriching asked with a low voice. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Luo Li nodded desperately as she spoke. Previously, Nan Xian had been rejected once. It was Tang Yin's grandfather who had gone to the Mu family to call off the engagement. He was nearly killed by the people of the Mu family. Fortunately, Tianjin Manor had a strict rule. Hence, they let go of him finally. Tang Yin's grandfather. Isn't he the first elder of the Tang family? Enriching was startled. She had never thought that the first elder of the Tang family would personally call off the engagement. It was no wonder people of the Mu family were so mad. Originally, not many people in Tianjin Manor knew about this betrothal. When Tang Yi had called it off, it had rocked Tianjin Manor. Although enriching did not know how Tang Yi got into Tianjin Manor, she felt grateful for the things that he had done. She felt grateful for whoever created a stir in the Mu family. Sponsored content. Remove ads. The second annulment is even more awful, said Luo Li with a bright smile. The manor master, Gu Shi, personally went to the Mu family. Simply no one knows what had actually happened, the only thing we know was that Gu Shi had lost his temper as if someone in the Mu family had deceived him. Hence, this was once again widely spread in Tianjin Manor. That was not all. Luo Li paused before she continued. Before that, the Mu family had arranged many concubines for Nan Xian. After Gu Shi had created a stir in the Mu family, everyone knows that there is something wrong with Nan Xian. Since then, some clans with strong foothold in this realm did not want to let their daughters step into the Mu family and had broken off the betrothals. On top of that, their daughters would only be Nan Xian's concubines. As for those clans without a strong foothold, the Mu family would never even have spared a glance at them. Currently, only Qin Feier still maintained the arranged marriage. It was no wonder that the Mu family still had good ties with the Qin family. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Feng Ruqing was rendered speechless once again. This thing really had nothing to do with her. However, if she told Nan Xian that she was not involved, would Nan Xian trust her? The people of the Mu family had been keeping the manor master, Gu Shi, in the dark that they are selecting concubines for Nan Xian. Hence, when Gu Shi found out about it, he was furious. I knew this since the very beginning as they have approached me before. However, my grandmother doesn't want me to be a concubine. Hence, she did not accept the arranged marriage. Luo Li looked hard at Feng Ruqing. Later on, the old lady thought of marrying Luo Li to Nan Xian as she wanted to get someone to take care of Luo Li. However, she would never let Luo Li be a concubine. The old lady thought that since Nan Xian had lost his reputation and many people had broken off the marriage arrangements, the Mu family might agree to make Luo Li Nan Xian's first wife. However, now that Luo Li was in love with the little fox, she would not marry someone whom she had never met before. Fortunately, the old lady did not accept the arranged marriage with Nan Xian. Otherwise, Luo Li would have lost a friend, Feng Ruqing. That was by far the most fortunate thing that had happened to Luo Li. Luo Li was different from Qin Feier and the rest. She would never lose her mind over a stunning face in a portrait and be trapped by a scheme arranged by the people of the Mu family. All of these ladies had good family backgrounds but were willing to be Nan Xian's concubines. Had the men in the world gone extinct? Chapter 792. It seems that Mu Ling is quite a fool and terribly greedy. Feng Ruqing furrowed her brows, unsure of how to feel. Sponsored content. Remove ads. The manor master had the loftiest power in Tianshan Manor, but Mu Ling had actually arranged marriage with the manor master's daughter for Nan Xian, but at the same time, also selecting so many concubines for Nan Xian. He was no doubt seeking his own demise. Yes, he is. The old master of the Mu family was the one who had built up the entire Mu family and had established a strong footing in this realm. Later on, the Mu family had strengthened its foothold with the marriage between Lady Sui and Mu Ling. However, the Mu family had gone downhill since Lady Sui left the Mu family. Luo Li pursed her lips, disdainfully. Perhaps, the people of the Mu family did this as they were worried about losing their power. The people who have accepted the arranged marriage had accepted because of Nan Xian. As Lady Sui was so ethereal and otherworldly, perhaps, Nan Xian would not be that inferior to her. Hence, they thought that the Mu family's status would be even higher in the future. Since none of you have met Nan Xian before, do you really believe in the things that Mu Ling had said about Nan Xian? Sponsored content. Remove ads. We haven't met Nan Xian before, but the manor master had. Even the manor master holds Nan Xian with such high regard, no one would doubt the things that Mu Ling had said. Moreover, Mu Ling said that Nan Xian would return to the Mu family one day. Naturally, Mu Ling would not lie about this. Otherwise, he would lose his reputation. The manor master, Gu Shi, had once asserted that Nan Xian would be the strongest in Tianshan Manor. Perhaps, he would be more powerful than Tianya. Naturally, the ladies out there looked forward to being married to Nan Xian. They were so eager to step into the Mu family even though they would end up being concubines. Oh, Feng Ruqing answered, weakly. The people in Tianshan Manor were nothing but a bunch of fools. They had believed all of Mu Ling's deceitful words. The state preceptor was really something, but he belonged to Feng Ruqing. Oh yeah. Xiao Qing, I thought you said that the person you love only has a mother. Luo Li stared blankly at Feng Ruching. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Well, to them, Mu Ling is dead. Just treat him as if he is already dead in the future. Why? Although Lady Si had left the Mu family in a fit of despair, Mu Ling said that Nan Xian has always been filial and obedient to him. Startled, Luo Li looked more and more confused. Don't let Nan Xian hear this. Otherwise, he would tie Mu Ling to the city's gate and whip him to show his filial piety. Feng Ruching sneered. One Nan Xian had always been filial to Mu Ling. That was total nonsense. Mu Ling had upset Nan Xian, so why would Nan Xian be filial to him? All of us had been fooled by Mu Ling. How dare he lie to the people of Tianshan Manor? He truly does not fear that things might get out of his hands. The corner of Luo Li's mouth twitched. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Xiao Qing, Luo Li pursed her lips tightly. You must be careful of the people of the Qin family. Qin Feier is desperate to marry Nan Xian. Now that many people have called off the betrothals to Nan Xian, perhaps she wants to be Nan Xian's first wife. Previously, as Guiyi was the manor master's daughter, no one had dared to fight with Guiyi. Now that the manor master had broken off the marriage with Nan Xian, the Qin family was no doubt the strongest among the rest. Qin Feier would give up. Luo Li's grandmother said that the Qin family would resort to any means and might inevitably put Feng Ruching into trouble. Qingqing, Luo Li is on good terms with Qin Feier. Qin Chen subconsciously held on to Feng Ruching's hand and glanced at Luo Li. That was the reason why Qin Chen did not want to talk to Luo Li in the Qin family. Had it not been for the fact that Luo Li could take him out to meet Feng Ruching, he would not have spared a glance at Luo Li. But Luo Li's face darkened. She was afraid that Feng Ruching believed in Qin Chen's words, so she explained, hastily. No, I am no longer on good terms with Qin Feier. Chapter 793, A Friend Will Never Let You Down. Since when? Feng Ruching turned to look at Luo Li. Sponsored content. Remove ads. It happened just now, in Paramount. I literally broke up with her. It was because, as compared to Qin Xiaoya, Luo Li could never be Qin Feier's kin. Even if Qin Feier knew that Luo Li was injured, Qin Feier did not avenge Luo Li but had advised Luo Li to be more considerate and never stir up trouble so Qin Xiaoya could marry Luo Li's father successfully. Since childhood, Qin Feier had always been guiding Luo Li like an elder and had taught her to render good for evil. However, Luo Li disliked Qin Xiaoya. Who does she think she is? Why must I humor Qin Xiaoya? She knew that my arm was hurt but she didn't let me go. Am I not a human too? I was on good terms with Qin Feier before. We were friends since childhood. As I was thoughtless and insensible back then, Qin Feier had always guided me to be kind to others. Hence, I would bury all my grievances even if I was wronged. She told me that I would lose all my friends if I fought back. In order to be lovable, I must be gentle and sensible. Sponsored content. Remove ads. I trusted her so much and treated her like my dearest sister in the world. However, who cares about my sorrow? It is not my fault. Why must I take a step back? When I have finally grown up, I didn't want to step back anymore, but she wouldn't stop guiding me. Moreover, I was afraid that her health would worsen if I ignored her words. Hence, I put up with all the nonsense before her and would only settle scores when she was not around. My mother gave me a jade pendant before she passed away. I wore it when I went out a few years ago. When Mu Huan saw it, he wanted to take it away from me. I refused to give it to him but Qin Feier stopped me. She wanted me to be generous and never fight him. She said that she would give me another jade pendant when I returned home. But that was my mother's. I knew that I was no match to Mu Huan. So, I asked my father to get it back for me. Back then, Luo Li's father had not fallen for Qin Xiaoye yet. Naturally, he had defended Luo Li. However, the things that Qin Feier had done had broken Luo Li's heart. If Luo Li must be so generous to give her mother's jade pendant away so that everyone would love her, then she did not want to be a lovable person. Sponsored content. Remove ads. If not for that strong friendship with Qin Feier, Luo Li would have cut Qin Feier out of her life back then. However, once there was a fissure in a relationship, be it a friendship or romantic relationship, it would never be as strong as it was before. With just a small trigger, the relationship would fall apart. Apparently, Feng Ruqing was the trigger. When Luo Li was overwhelmed by grief, it was Feng Ruqing who had walked over, pushed Qin Feier away, and got her away from the crowd. Unlike Qin Feier, Feng Ruqing did not advise Luo Li to forgive others. She simply helped Luo Li, silently. Perhaps that was what a true friend really meant. Indeed, Qin Feier is an all-rounder. I am no match for her. Everyone likes her so much, but I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be wronged anymore. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Thinking of all the grievances buried in her heart, she could no longer hold back tears. Luo Li, a friend would never let you down. Feng Ruqing stared solemnly at Luo Li. Feng Ruqing was right. A true friend would never let you down. I understand it now. Perhaps, Qin Feier has never treated me as a friend since the beginning. I was just flattering myself. It doesn't matter, I don't care about her anymore. I don't like people who don't care about me. Chapter 794. Don't worry, there are many ladies out there in this world. Qin Feier is nothing. Feng Ruqing reached out to stroke Luo Li's head. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Dumbfounded, Luo Li wiped off her tear and broke into a smile. Feng Ruqing spoke as if Luo Li was dumped by her lover. You are right. There are so many ladies in this world. Moreover, I am pretty. I am sure I will be able to make new friends. However, I will never be overly tolerant of others in the future. Luo Li was overly tolerant with the people she had met when she was with Qin Feier. Initially, some of them were sincere to Luo Li. As time went by, they started to take everything Luo Li did for granted. They could never accept it if Luo Li stopped resigning to herself. Speaking of which, it's true that I am Qin Feier's friend, but I have broken off the friendship I had with her. Luo Li snorted and turned to look at Qin Qin. Sponsored content. Remove ads. You are Qin Feier's brother. You can't cut her out of your life, can you? If that is the case, then, I am closer to Shao Qing than you. Qin Feier was Feng Ruqing's love rival after all. Luo Li would not hesitate to take Feng Ruqing's side, but what about Qin Qin? Could he break off with Qin Feier? I will never break off with Qin Feier in my life. A glimmer of wickedness flashed in Qin Chen's eyes. Beaming with pride, Luo Li glanced at Qin Chen and turned to look at Feng Ruqing as if telling her, look. I am more reliable. Because. Qin Chen paused for a while. Even if she is not my sister, she is my enemy. Qin Chen could never get rid of Qin Feier. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Can this rascal finish all his words without pausing? Hearing this, Luo Li's face stiffened. She felt a sudden burning embarrassment for her behavior. How she wished there was a hole before her so she could hide herself. 1 inch. Are you sure you can do it? Feier said that she is very close to you and that she is your only kin. She really said that. Qin Yu's eyes were full of doubt. Qin Chen had no idea when he began to get close to Qin Feier. Even if Qin Chen did not hate Qin Fei back then, he had never liked her. Now that Qin Fei had become Feng Ruking's love rival, naturally, Qin Chen would never get close to Qin Fei. Luo Li nodded desperately. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Qingqing is the only kin in my life. The corner of Qin Chen's lips curved into a sneer. Chainer, have you thought about this? Perhaps your biological parents are still alive and you could find your origins. Feng Ruqing grabbed hold Qin Chen's hand tightly. Having you in my life is a gift. I don't need anyone else. Qin Chen smiled. Because I have you in my life and that's enough for me. You have lightened up the sky and brightened up my world. There's nothing else that I want in my life. Chainer. Feng Ruqing was stunned. Then I will listen to you. If I find my biological parents, I will meet them if you want me to do so. Is that all right? Qin Chen paused for a while and stared at Feng Ruking's face. Luo Li's eyes were fixed on Qin Chen. Although Luo Li had known Qin Chen for years, he had always been cold and nonchalant. Now, the way he was treating Feng Ruqing was completely different. He had never treated Qin Fei like this before. If Qin Fei knew this, she would be furious. Would she still be gentle, kind, and generous? Luo Li could not wait to see what would happen to Qin Fei when she lost her mind. Chainer, it's getting late, you should go back. Feng Ruqing looked at the sky and then at Qin Chen. I will stay here for a while, and you can meet me anytime. All right, Qin Chen said, reluctantly. Chapter 795. Qin Chen knew that he might put Feng Ruqing into trouble if he stayed there for too long. Hence, he glanced at Feng Ruqing before he turned to leave. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Soon after Qin Chen left, Luo Li, too, left Feng Ruqing as Luo Li could not bear to leave the old lady alone in the manor alone for too long. When Luo Li returned to the Luo family, the manor was a mess. The old lady was holding her heaving chest as she raged and hit the crutch on the ground, hard. She could hardly stand upright. Standing helplessly nearby, Luo Fei wanted to help the old lady to stand, but the old lady swung her crutch and hit the back of his hand. Grandmother! Flying into great panic, Luo Li rushed over. Her furious gaze was fixed on Luo Fei. Sponsored content. Remove ads. What have you done to grandmother? Luo Li used to call Luo Fei her father, but she had stopped now. Her eyes were blazing with furious rage. Liar, I have brought someone to treat your grandmother, but she has turned us down. Since you are her most beloved granddaughter, please help me to persuade her, Luo Fei said, helplessly. Stop acting. I will find a cure for grandma's illness. I don't need your help. Luo Li snorted as she helped the old lady toward the backyard. Luo Fei's face stiffened. He stood behind both of them, watching them leave. The sight cast a chill all over his body, freezing his blood and piercing his heart. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Luo Fei, Qin Fei has helped me get Grandmaster Hai Rong to treat the old lady. Unfortunately, the old lady has turned us down. Hence, it has nothing to do with me. The corner of Qin Xiaoya's lips curved into a sneer. Originally, Qin Xiaoya had never thought of getting Grandmaster Hai Rong to treat the old lady, as she knew that the Grandmaster Hai Rong had a lofty temperament. Naturally, Qin Xiaoya was not capable of getting him to help. Previously, she had promised Luo Fei to get the Grandmaster Hai Rong to treat the old lady, so Luo Fei could not bear to part with her. Fortunately, the old lady had rejected them. Otherwise, she would have to think of an excuse to postpone it. I will convince my mother. Even if she is angry with me, she must not risk her life in a fit of anger. Luo Fei smiled, wryly. Qin Xiaoya squinted. Suddenly, the lady who had taken Luoli away from Paramount flashed through her mind. Thinking of this, her lips curved into an evil smirk. Sponsored content. Remove ads. 1-inch Luo Fei, you should keep an eye on Xiaoli. I saw her together with a strange lady today. Xiaoli has grown up. She has the right to choose her friends, Luo Fei said after hesitating. Qin Xiaoya's face darkened a few shades. Luo Fei had always been tolerating all the wrongdoings that Luoli had done. Luoli was nothing but a young lady who had no filial piety and did not know how to respect the elders. Why did Luo Fei always indulge her? If Qin Xiaoya were Luoli's mother, she would have beaten the crap out of Luoli. Luo Fei, I will be Liar's parent in the future. Since you have a one-track mind, I must take good care of her. She has the right to choose her own friends, but she must not hang around with disagreeable people. Otherwise, she would be led astray. Don't you think Liar has changed a lot recently? Luo Fei merely frowned. Qin Xiaoya was right. Although Liar disliked Qin Xiaoya, she had never shown it on her face and had never disregarded her father. Luoli had always been cordial and obedient, simply no one knew when she had changed. Chapter 796, Gui of the Gu family too. Besides, don't you know what kind of person Feier is? That dubious woman did not like Feier appearing in front of Liar, so she pushed Feier to the ground. Luckily, Feier is a lot stronger now. If anything happens to her, do you think Grandmaster Hai Rong will let that woman go? The relationship between Feier and Mu Huan has always been great since childhood. You need to think carefully about many things. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Moreover, Qin Xiaoya frowned. Liar's behavior has hurt Feier. I have persuaded Feier to stay away from Liar several times. However, Feier is soft-hearted. Hence, she did not listen to me. She had always treated Liar like her younger sister. She is even nicer when Liar treats her even just a little better than usual. But in the end, Liar still abandoned her. Luo Fei pursed his lips, discomfort written on his face. Maybe there is a misunderstanding between Liar and Feier. They just have to resolve the misunderstanding. Liar is the kind of person who knows how to distinguish right from wrong. He would defend Qin Xiaoya in front of Luoli. However, he could not bear Qin Xiaoya criticizing Luoli. These two, one was the person he loved and the other one was his own daughter. He only hoped that they could get along with each other peacefully. Even if they could not treat each other like loved ones, he hoped that at least they would respect each other. Luo Fei. Qin Xiaoya's eyes showed hatred. I am telling you all these for Liar's sake. You've sponsored content. Remove ads. I know that you care about Liar, but she has her own freedom. Even if that girl is really bad, the Luo family doesn't have any dealings with her. However, I can't stop Liar. Especially when his daughter was already ignoring him now. If he continued this, Liar would really hate him forever. At the chief manor. Compared to the tranquility of other manors, the chief manor was totally out of control and had become a scene of turmoil. Gu Yi held the celadon high in her hands. She stared at the middle-aged man in front with her big eyes. You won't let me go. Gu Shi's heart was about to stop beating. He was about to cry. My little devil, can't you just put down the thing in your hands? Sponsored content. Remove ads. Crash. The celadon was smashed onto the ground, hard, breaking into a million pieces. Then she tore down the painting on the wall and stared angrily at Gu Shi. Will you let me go, now? My dear daughter, what are you going to do? Gu Shi finally cried, desperately. Fortunately, there were no other people there, otherwise, his reputation would be ruined. I want to go out and leave this horrible place. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Gu Shi was aggrieved. Little devil, this is your home, the place where you have grown up. Why do you say that this is a horrible place? Rip. Gu Yi tore the painting. The painting that Gu Shi had spent a lot of money on was ripped into half. He was so distressed that his whole body twitched. I don't care. I'm leaving Tianshan Manor. I'm going to Luyun Kingdom. I'm going back to Luyun Kingdom. Gu Shi's mouth twitched twice. His baby girl had just left the house once. How could this not be her home anymore? What was so good about Luyun Kingdom? Was it better than her own home? Gu Yi had raised another celadone vase high up in the air. Just as she wanted to smash it, Gu Shi spoke. Little devil, can you tell me why you want to go to Luyun Kingdom? She was silent for a moment. Because the woman I like is in Luyun Kingdom. The woman she liked, woman. Chapter 797, Woman. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Gu Shi was shocked. You are a woman. How can you like women? Xiao Yin told me that men are inconsiderate, unlike women who are gentle and kind. Who is Xiao Yin? Oh, she is Nan Xian's ex-fiancée, the one whom the Mu family had arranged for him before. Gu Shi was too stunned to speak. Did Gu Yi know Nan Xian's ex-fiancée? Was Gu Yi led astray by her? No. Sponsored content. Remove ads. He could not let Gu Yi leave Tianshan Manor again, lest she would really never marry a man in the future. The person you like, who is it? Gu Shi hesitated before he asked. He had already decided to tell the guards to stop that girl from entering Tianshan Manor, otherwise, she would inevitably take away his baby daughter. Gu Yi snorted. The person that Xiao Yin and I like has been snatched by Nan Xian. Xiao Yin is right. Nan Xian is a vixen that seduces innocent girls, especially those that resemble Manor Lady Xiao Qing. Gu Shi was speechless. He was confused and needed a moment to think rationally. Did you just say that Nan Xian has found the girl he likes? Sponsored content. Remove ads. Well, if Nan Xian liked that girl, then his baby girl would have no chance. He had to start searching for a new husband for Gu Yi to prevent her from being hurt. Father, please let me go. I want to leave Tianshan Manor. Xiao Qing has already abandoned us and ran away with Nan Xian. If I don't leave now, it won't be long before Xiao Qing forgets me. Gu Yi had just managed to lose weight. She wanted to appear in front of Xiao Qing with a different appearance to impress her. Yet, she was tied to Tianshan Manor by her father before she could do it. Too bad that she was not Tang Yin, whom Xiao Qing was already familiar with. It was said that Xiao Qing's memory was not very good. If she did not appear in front of Feng Ruqing for a long time, she would be forgotten by Feng Ruqing. Little devil, you will be 18 years old soon. Can you leave after your birthday party? She had no chance to leave. Sponsored content. Remove ads. He must find her a good husband before her birthday. There were many excellent men in Tianshan Manor. Many of them had very good temperaments. Moreover, he did not need to worry about Gu Yi not marrying. After all, she had become very pretty now. Wait, Gu Shi suddenly thought of something. He hesitated before he asked, you should answer me first. Does Nan Xian have a girl whom he likes? Gu Yi nodded. Xiao Qing is very beautiful and gentle. Furthermore, she is also very talented. Nan Xian does not deserve her. Nan Xian was a fickle bastard who still philandered with other women although he already had Xiao Qing by his side. Was he eligible to be Xiao Qing's husband? Gu Shi's face darkened. His eyes were filled with anger. Mu Ling. He gritted his teeth furiously as if he wanted to hack Mu Ling into pieces. Mu Ling, you asshole. How dare he lies to me? He has lied to me more than once. When Mu Ling had come to propose the marriage, he had immediately agreed without giving it a second thought because Nan Xian was indeed good enough. But the main reason was that Nan Xian did not have any wife. However, he did not expect Mu Ling to secretly look for so many concubines for Nan Xian. How could his daughter endure such things? He was still very furious although the marriage had already been cancelled. If it were not for the Mu family's old master, he would have gone to settle accounts with Mu Ling by now. Not to mention that Nan Xian already had someone he liked. After all, he had never liked the Mu family. He only liked Nan Xian. Chapter 798 Nan Xian already had someone he loved. Even if he was forced to marry his daughter would suffer and be unhappy in the future. Sponsored content. Remove ads. At that time, he had also asked the Mu family regarding this matter, but Mu Ling had quickly denied it. Now he realized that he had been deceived all along. Father, if you really love me, you should let me go. Otherwise, I will burn Tianshan Manor someday. Gu Yi said as she gritted her teeth. Gu Shi calmed down. He then turned and said, you said that she is in a relationship with Nan Xian. That she will follow Nan Xian to Tianshan Manor one day. It will be the same if you wait for her here. I will bring you to her after your birthday. Okay. Anyway, he had made up his mind to send some people to the gate and not allow that girl to enter Tianshan Manor. Really? Gu Yi looked at Gu Shi in surprise. When have I ever lied to you? Gu Shi smiled, gently. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Gu Yi was slightly silent. Well, it's only half a month until my birthday. I will leave after my birthday. Oh yes, if you want to find Xiaoqing for me, remember to ask those people in the chief manor to treat her nicely. If anyone dares to disrespect Xiaoqing, I will run away from home. You will never find me again. Gu Shi wiped away his bitter tears. He finally understood the meaning of the phrase, a grown girl could not be kept at home. But the one who made him experience it was a woman. Do you think him that kind of person? Don't worry, I will order the people at Tianshan Manor to treat her respectfully. As long as she did not come to Tianshan Manor to hurt his daughter, he would even call her father. Sponsored content. Remove ads. He only had a daughter. He was still waiting to hug his grandson. How could his dream be shattered by just one woman? Oh. Gu Yi curled her lip and slurred over the matter. Gu Shi's face stiffened. Was he so unreasonable in his daughter's heart? You have been back for a while. Would you like to go outside? He wanted everyone in Tianshan Manor to see his daughter's charms and make those who had looked down on her regret it. No. Gu Yi was listless. I don't want to meet those people. They are not as beautiful and gentle as Xiaoqing. They also won't even praise me for being beautiful like Xiaoqing is. Moreover, there is no one here who can talk to me about Xiaoqing like Xiaoyin. What's the point of going outside? Sponsored content. Remove ads. Feng Ruqing was the only one who had praised her when she was about 250 pounds. That warmth was deeply engraved in her mind. Now even if those people accepted her, it was just because of her appearance. They were so hypocritical. She felt disgusted when she saw them. Gu Shi looked at Gu Yi's figure walking toward the hole. He felt a sense of danger in his heart. It seemed that his little devil really loved that girl. No, he had to find someone to distract her. Gu Yi. An elder walked in from the door and put his fists together, respectfully. Manor Master. Go and find out which family's sons have not implicitly taunted Yi when she was obese. He thought of Gu Yi's words and paused. He then continued, he must look good and has a gentle temperament. He must also praise her all the time and be able to talk about that girl, Xiao Qing with Yi. His family background is not that important, but the other criteria that I have mentioned is a must. Gu Yi was speechless. Manor Master, your request is too hard to fulfill. Even those in Tianshan Manor cannot meet those requirements. 1. Chapter 799, Gu Yi of the Gu family v. Gu Shi's face darkened. What are you still doing? Quickly go and check it out. If Yi sets a fire on Tianshan Manor, you shall rebuild it yourself. Sponsored content. Remove ads. At this moment, he really wanted to resign. The task given by the Manor Master was impossible to be accomplished. Gu Yi immediately recovered from his thoughts when he saw Gu Shi's gradually darkening face. He then said respectfully, "Yes, Manor Master." The Manor Master was really a ruthless man. At that time, the Manor Master was very dissatisfied with the former Manor Master. Therefore, he had killed him and replaced him as the Manor Master. But now he was always tormenting them. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Gu Yi did not know that Feng Ruqing had come to Tianshan Manor, so she felt depressed every day. Although her birthday was approaching, she was not excited about it. She was listless. Let me in. I'm the second young lady of Tianshan Manor. At the main gate of the chief manor, and Chui, who was wearing ragged clothes with disheveled hair, looked haggard. She glared angrily at the people in front of her. Her token was stolen the other day. She could have followed Gu Shi back to Tianshan Manor while Gu Shi was still there then, but she had chosen to stay for Nan Xian's sake. She was even too scared to ask Gu Shi for another token. She feared that she would be forcibly brought back to Tianshan Manor. Too bad that all her money was used up before she could find Nan Xian. She had initially wanted to use spirit herbs to exchange for some money. However, she never thought that those people would not accept it. She wondered if the group of people in the secular world were stupid. They had missed a great opportunity to buy spirit herbs. She could not even sell the spirit herbs at low prices. Sponsored content. Remove ads. And Chui always felt that there was a mastermind behind all the things that had happened to her. That person seemed to be intentionally tormenting her. She had no other choice. She could only return to Tianshan Manor. Nonetheless, those people did not know her. Hence, they had stopped her from entering Tianshan Manor since she did not have a token. She had been wandering outside of Tianshan Manor for a few days. She planned to wait for someone whom she knew to bring her back. However, she was stopped once again when she walked to the chief manor. This time, An Chui was completely furious. "I'm sorry," the Imperial Guard said, calmly. "There is only one young lady in our manor." "You," An Chui was angry. She glared at the Imperial Guard. "An Chui. The Manor Master is my uncle. How dare you stop me? I will tell my uncle to drive you out." Sponsored content. Remove ads. The Imperial Guard sneered. "Oh, so you are Manor Lady. But I didn't know that you are the second young lady of Tianshan Manor. By the way, Lady An has been driven out by Manor Master. You should leave too." And Cui's eyes widened. Was Mother thrown out of the manor? What had happened when she was not in Tianshan Manor? Lady An is currently staying at Heaven Inn at Northern Street. If you want to know the reason, you can just go and ask Lady An, the Imperial Guard said with a straight face. And Chui gritted her teeth. Her wicked eyes scanned the Imperial Guard's face. She clenched her fists and turned around slowly. She then headed toward Northern Street. She would definitely walk into the chief manor fairly and squarely again one day. She wanted those who had looked down on her to regret it for life. Feng Ruqing had just bought a pack of medicinal seeds at the herb shop. After that, she bumped into two people as she was coming out of the herb shop. The man's facial features were quite feminine. His embroidered long robe could not cover the fact that he was a scumbag. Mushi did not expect to meet Feng-Ruching in Tianshan manner. He stopped. He was surprised at first, then his face eventually filled with smiles. Chapter 800. Hey, it's you. We meet again. It must be fate. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Luo Li was already following Feng-Ruching without waiting for her to speak. She had just taken 2 steps forward when she suddenly saw Mu Shi and Mu Huan standing in front of her. One was soft and the other was cold and arrogant. What are you doing here? Luo Li held on to Feng-Ruching's sleeves firmly. Somehow, Feng-Ruching felt that Luo Li's hands were shaking. Lady. Mu Shi slowly stepped forward. He smiled. There is an amazing connection between us. What about joining us for lunch at Heaven Eye? Feng-Ruching was bewildered. She thought for a moment but could not remember anything about the man. Do I know you? Sponsored content. Remove ads. Mu Zai's smile froze. He then continued to laugh. We have met each other in the forest of spirit beasts before. You may not remember me. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Mu Shi, the only young master of the Mu family. He deliberately emphasized the 2 words, the only. Any smart woman would know what to choose. The surrounding atmosphere around the girl was cold right after he said that. Are you from the Mu family? Since coming to Tianshan Manor, she knew that she would meet the Mu family sooner or later. However, she never thought that this day would come so fast. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Xiao Qing. Luo Li turned her head and looked at Feng-Ruching anxiously. She just felt that the current Xiao Qing was a bit intimidating. Feng-Ruching smiled. I am not interested in anyone from the Mu family. Get out of my way. Mu Zai's face darkened. Lady, so you are not doing me this honor. She kept saying that she was not interested in the Mu family. Did she not already devote herself to Nan Xian? Was it not because Nan Xian was of the Mu family's blood? Unfortunately, she had miscalculated. He was the only young master of the Mu family. Nan Xian would lose out sooner or later. He was giving her a chance, but she had not cherished it. Sponsored content. Remove ads. Honor. Feng-Ruching laughed. Why should I? If you want me to join you for lunch, okay, kneel down now. You shall kneel and get to the gate on your knees. Then, maybe I will think about it. Mu Zai's face completely changed. He no longer had that friendly smile and his face was clouded. Hey girl, don't think you can do whatever you want just because Nan Xian is protecting you. You are nothing in Tianshan Manor. Nan Xian. Mu Huan glared at Feng-Ruching, coldly. Oh, so this was the girl whom Nan Xian liked. There was nothing special about her. She was just a contentious and useless woman. If Nan Xian liked that girl, so be it. Nan Xian was not insightful, so he would never find a good girl. Why did Mu Huan also fancy her? I have told you. Kneel down immediately. Suddenly, many vines rose behind Mu Shi, pulling down on his knees, hard. He lost his stability and kneeled in front of Feng-Ruching. Mu Zai's face was covered in cold sweat. Compared to the pain, being ashamed and humiliated were more intolerable. He clenched his fists. His face was pale and his eyes were like a poisoned dagger glaring at Feng-Ruching. Bitch, do you want to die? Feng-Ruching stared down at Mu Shi, who was kneeling in front. I have already told you. If you want me to join you for lunch, you have to kneel and get to the gate on your knees. Only then I will think about it. Since you can't do it, I don't even need to think about it. You just need to kneel.